we were very open to recepting to getting the services and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. You know, doing the one-on-ones with us, the one-on-one with the child, and then bringing it together as a family really helped us to focus not only on the child's needs but on our needs as well, because we found ourselves sometimes in a challenging situation where I might think one way and my wife might think another way, and so we had to become on the same page and become a unified front. The fishbowl. There was a fishbowl activity where we looked in at the presenters, and then the presenters had to look in at our fishbowl. And just being in that, I think that that was a very. I had never done that before. I think that was very interesting because it was ways to try to get our child to engage. He hated therapy. He didn't want to do therapy. And in order to do it, it's almost like we had to trick him, play games and do things that he wouldn't because he's very competitive. So he would want to get engaged and win something, but to just say we're going to have therapy, that wasn't working for him. So I think that was very interesting. I think some of the questionnaires, because when we did the questionnaires together, it was like, you know, he wanted to hear our answers, we wanted to hear his answers. So, you know, we ended up breaking through to him in a couple of, so with regards to the exercises, with the games, with the family activities, all that played a good role because he was more receptive to those types of things. As a matter of fact, going through the different phases and then evaluating and then, you know, just seeing where we were based on the phases. Because there was always a feedback session and sort of gauging from where we started at that first phase and where we ended up at the end of the phase. And it seemed like we were always making progress in some form of fashion. So that was very good. I mean, I enjoyed that. I look forward to therapy. I loved it. And I was, it was funny, I was the one that was reluctant in the beginning and I was the one that got the most out of it. We found that it was very important for us was self-care. The, the idea of self-care, the idea of, you know, taking a break to check in with each other. My wife and I used to do a thing we called check up from the neck up, and just to sit down and talk. But we had kind of gotten away from that, and that brought us back to it to really understand because the effects of having a child not only affects the child, but it affects us individually as well as collectively. And it was important to us because we had felt that it was really becoming a strain on our personal relationship. So the whole thing of being able to talk, being the whole thing of the self-care, you know, hey, you know, sometimes you got to take yourself out of the situation. You got to take care of yourself because, you know, you're the number one factor in that. Just like they say on the airplane, you got to put your mask on first before you can help anybody else. So you got to take time to understand where you are and where your mindset is, not only for yourself, but for the child as well as your partner or other individuals. And I love the support, the added support, because sometimes things get very challenging. The consistency to be able to have, you know, we look forward to, you know, Monday at this time or Wednesday at this time, this was going to happen. And like I said, we look forward to it. We were open to uh, receive the information and to receive the way things were laid out in the phases, and kind of a scoring mechanism to see where you fit in on the scale, where the child is fitting on the scale, where your partner fits in, and just being able to have that person that checks on you. A lot of time, it's all about the child. It's about the child. It's about the child. What services what support, what can we do? But sometimes the parents need somebody to look out for them, to check in with them, to take their temperature, and to give them some suggestions and ideas in the whole journey. So I think to share the journey with a neutral party, an outside entity, is very valuable. Oh, definitely give it a chance. Open your mind up to new things because it is new. I mean, you might have the experience and you might, think that you know everything, but the world is ever changing. The personalities of the children are ever changing. And these children that have been in the system, they're smarter than we are. They know the system better than we do, and they know and understand what the rules are, what their rights are, what they can get away with, where they can push the envelope. And you have to be more of a say collaborative parent instead of an authoritative parent, because a lot of times that does not work. So just to be able to do that, engage in that, open it up, and use it for yourself. Don't look at it so much as it's for the child, but be open to it for yourself. Be able to take that self care. Be able to take the opinions of somebody from the outside looking in, and you really you'll get a lot of it. And the other thing is that you only get out of it what you put into it. So you've got to be all in and receptive, and it'll be an enjoyable experience, I guarantee. We really loved the program. Like I said, I was totally against it, but I fell in love with it. So I'm hooked now. Therapy, therapy, therapy.